Breaking news, banking is needed, banks are not. According to LCX CEO Monty Metzger, banking is needed and banks are not. So this is the second part to my video. Digital payment sector is going parabolic, according to Metallicus, or according to DeLand Credit Union Chief Information Officer. Okay, so if you haven't seen that video, definitely go check that video out. But now we're talking on the second part, in which Monty Metzger says banking is needed, but banks are not. But first, a word from our affiliate, DCENT Wallet.
Your crypto deserves the best protection. So why settle for less? DCENT Crypto Wallet isn't just another wallet. It's safe, secure, easy to use, and supports your favorite cryptocurrencies all at the touch of a button. And now with my exclusive link, you'll save $30 on your new wallet. Better security, smarter investing, $30 in your pocket. Click on the link now and secure your better security today.
One of the best ways to help the channel is to get a DCENT wallet. $30 for off for one, $99 off for two. And best thing about it, you can swap within your phone app. No need to take the crypto out and put it back on the exchange to swap. You can swap within the phone app. Definitely love DCENT wallet. But here we are here, guys. Staying ahead of the market and staying to where the trends and everything are heading. And I've been saying it now for a year and a half. Digital payments are where we're heading. But on top of digital payments is that banking is needed, but banks are not. Okay. Now, that does not mean that banks are not going to get ahead of this like credit unions are with Metallicus, right? And in a sense, the banks can be behind the unbanking or the mobile access banking. But this is where I see the market heading. And this is not just me. Let's hear from Monty Metzger, who's going to say it in his own words. And then we'll hear from the CEO of ZEBEC and how he plans to have ZEBEC lead this. Okay. So let's go ahead and go over to Monty Metzger now. And we'll play this here. Let me make sure we're at the right point. No, we're not.
It's a core of LCX. Beyond the spot exchange, there are two upcoming large opportunities. One is what we called blockchain banking. So Bill Gates in 1993 already said, banking is needed, banks are not. We do see that a lot of the banking services is empowering people who have never had a bank account, people who don't want to have a bank account. All this smartphone generation, the digital natives, they are so hooked to their wallets, they don't even need traditional banking services. So we do see a lot of innovation in the banking sector. The second big opportunity is tokenization. So it's basically bringing traditional real-world assets like gold and diamonds on the blockchain and enabling everybody to invest in their asset classes with a digital twin, which...
Okay, so we're not going to get into tokenization today, but we will get into the first part of what Monty was talking about, which is the blockchain banking, in which, you know, and not to misquote Monty himself was quoting Bill Gates and saying banking is needed and banks are not. So in that whole realm, we have ZEBEC, and they're getting ahead of this themselves in launching their own mobile network with World Mobile Token. Okay, so let me go over here and we'll play some words from the ZEBEC CEO, Simon Babakani, right now.
Super succinct. Thank you for doing that. I think it's really, really exciting. Simon, I'm going to jump over to you because I know we've been talking a bit about the kind of the ZEBEC partnership and ZEBEC Net, as I've seen it muted. And I just wondered if you could kind of define what that is and why it matters.
Absolutely. So we announced ZEBEC Net last week. And And the way I think of it is it's really the next logical step for the financial architecture that we're building. At ZEBEC, we like to think 5 to 10 years ahead of the rest of the market. We're on a mission to build the next gen of infrastructure that's needed to power the future of finance. As we started with our revolutionary payroll streaming technology all these years ago, and we've now built an ecosystem of products around it, such as the ZEBEC Card Suite and the upcoming ZEBEC Super App, to ensure that our users have real-time global access to our network and low latency transactions at all times. We really had no choice but to launch our own mobile network. And that is ZEBECnet, of course, in partnership and powered by World Mobile. Now, unlike traditional mobile networks, ZEBECnet is purpose-built for financial connectivity and works alongside your existing mobile carrier, ensuring uninterrupted access to all your ZEBEC wallets, your payment cards, your payroll streams, regardless of where you are in the world. Now, ZEBECnet is coming to market sometime in fall 2025. We are actively working on development right now with World Mobile, and it's going to be fully integrated with the ZEBEC Super App as well as all of our streaming tools. Now, do you know who's even more excited for ZEBECnet than us here at ZEBEC? It's our over 200 enterprise clients who can now pay remote workers in over 70 countries without having to connect to local banking infrastructure. This is huge. The cost savings for these employers are enormous, especially when you compare to traditional remittance services or international employer of record solution. So this truly is a game changer for both the ZEBEC community as well as the enterprise clients.
So you see that 200 enterprise clients are excited about this is because it's going to save them money. They can now directly pay their remote employees and are going to have a huge cost savings on traditional remittance products. And it's going to be lovely for them because they're going to save money that way. As well, here, you don't have to depend on your local bank or where you're doing with your local bank. This completely kind of feeds into the gig economy that we're moving towards in the world, in which people are kind of, place agnostic, where they'll go wherever they feel like they can get the best deal of living and make the best use of their dollar or their currency, if that currency is, higher value than this place or that. So now, no matter where they are in the world using ZEBECnet, right, they can have access to their money via their wallet or their phone, right? And Simon says this connects to all different mobile networks, okay? So World Mobile Token has deals in place, I think, with T-Mobile and AT&T. So they're pretty much covering everywhere, right? So this is huge. Now understand the backing behind ZEBEC with BlackRock and others, right? So they're not doing this completely against banks, as in like they would have to be worried that they would be taken down by banks. This is, they have the backing of BlackRock. They have the backing of all these old school, old world, players. So this is not something they're doing in which we have to worry that they're a risk. Okay. I think we really need to stress that, right? They're just seeing where the world is heading, and they're getting ahead of it, which is smart. Okay, they're seeing that people are using their phones as wallets. They're seeing that they really don't need traditional banking as they once did, and they're moving ahead of it to control it. Okay, and again, we're going to be at the forefront of that by investing in these companies. Okay, so kudos to Simon at ZEBEC. These guys are thinking forward. They are thinking 5 to 10 years ahead of time. All right. And they tell us that this will be ready third quarter, fourth quarter of this year. Now imagine where this token goes in 2026, in 2027, in 2028. It's crazy to think about, guys. Okay. And, you know, this is everything that Monty Metzger told us in saying, hey, Monty really laid it out for us very quickly, and that people have their smartphones now. Again, they're using it as a bank, as a wallet. They don't need traditional banking services. They're already using their phone, and you know, a lot of people feel quote unquote naked without their phone. So, you know what I mean? That's that. Now they're just providing cheaper and easier services for these enterprise companies for them to be able to pay their remote workers directly and also send remittance payments or anything they need to do um, via these mobile networks. So, you know, you give that enterprise company the ability to do that. I'm sure it makes it easier for them also to do deals and to do things that they need to do. And when you couple that with ZEBEC doing things with Zano, which has a privacy stablecoin, they could do things in a private manner on these mobile networks so that, you know, should the business case arise that they need to do something private, as in like, okay, well, we're doing this private business deal. It's no one's business how much this company, we pay this company or pay that company or pay this worker or pay that worker. They can do that. Okay. So, um, yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments about what's going on here. I'm very excited to see that we're at the pinnacle. We're at the cutting edge of payments. In the end, for me, it's all going to be about who controls the liquidity, um, who's who's on a cutting edge of where um, liquidity flow is going. Okay, that is the next 5 years. Where who's in the cutting edge of liquidity flow? Okay, let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you got to the end here, please put WMT for World Mobile Token in the comments, and I'll know that you got to the end. And that's it. I'm out. Peace.